guys, welcome back. This is part 2 of my Q&A. Let's get into the questions. Tips on using metformin. Do you have PCOS symptoms since being pregnant? I think somebody asked me this in my car Q&A. My only symptoms with PCOS are I don't ovulate regularly. Technically, I'm not ovulating at the moment because I'm pregnant, so I guess yes, my symptoms go away. But I know other women have other physical symptoms. I'm not sure if those go away once you get pregnant because, like I said, I don't have those. I am still taking the metformin. My doctor told me that taking metformin for women with PCOS can help reduce significantly your chance of having a miscarriage in your first trimester. And so I'm gonna take it until, they told me I could stop at 12 weeks. And I took it until 15 with Sebastian because I was just so paranoid. Tips as far as taking the metformin: if you're trying it for the first time, or if you've tried it and you got off of it because of the side effects, the best thing you can do is to cut carbs the week before you take it and the first 2 weeks on it. You will feel so much better. Your stomach will thank you. Your body will thank you, and you'll be able to get through the adjustment process a lot easier. If you don't know what I'm talking about because you don't have PCOS or you've never heard of metformin, be happy, because metformin can cause a lot of GI distress and make life really hard and painful for the first couple weeks on it. But I promise you, once you can get past that first stage where you're in the bathroom every 2 seconds crying, it does get easier and you can start eating carbs. I can eat anything. I can eat a buttered biscuit and take my metformin and have no problem at this point. When is your next girls trip? I would so like to go on a trip with you. Oh, that's so sweet. I actually don't know. Girls trips, to be completely honest, are not my favorite thing. Like, I don't mind going on them. I always have a good time, but I much prefer to travel with Brandon. Like, when we went to the Bahamas, best thing ever. Or I like couples trips because I really love to be with my husband. I don't know if I'll be doing any more girls trips. I mean, I'm sure I probably will go on another one in life. I don't know. Will you do a house tour, or did I miss it? So initially when I moved into this house last year, I thought, oh yeah, I'll do a house tour, no big deal. And then I started to realize that I probably never will. The reason why, well, one, we're moving out of this house in a year, and two, because I have stopped decorating this house. I have stopped buying things for this house. I have stopped doing anything that pertains to making this house look any nicer than it already does. I have detached completely from this house, actually, which is probably not good because I still have another year here. I like this house. I feel safe in my house. I love my neighborhood. It's a beautiful house, but I don't love my house. And because I don't love it, I don't want to show it off. I would much rather just wait until I move into the next house. From the vlogs, you can kind of see all the rooms that we use. I haven't even bought like spring summer decor for this house. That's how much I've checked out. As far as this house is concerned, you probably won't see much more than you already have. Are you going to put Bash in preschool or keep him home as long as you can? I always thought that I was going to keep him home until he could speak in full sentences, but now I don't know if I think that way anymore. If we do decide to put him in one, I know where we're gonna put him, but I haven't decided if I'm going to yet. To be honest, I think he needs a little bit of a different experience than what I'm providing him here. It's not so much on the socialization aspect, but more so just something different or something more. One of the other things I'm struggling with is, do I really want to send him off? This is my last year with him before we, you know, have another baby in the house. We'll see. I'm very open to it. This might be weird, but why don't you and Brendan wash your clothes together? I get asked this a lot, especially if you watch my vlogs, but he does not wash mine and I don't do his. One, he's afraid to touch my clothes because he's afraid he'll mess them up in the wash cycle. He may dry them and shrink them, or I don't know. And to be honest, his clothes are stinky because he works out like 5 days a week, and I really don't want to touch that. It's not the only reason why. It's just always been like this. We don't really know anything else. We moved in together after we got married, and I kind of was just like, I'm gonna do my laundry now, and he's like, I'm gonna do mine, and we've always just done it separately. And I honestly think it's like a tool to a happy marriage. There are some things you can just keep separate, and laundry is one of them. What is the hardest part about Brandon's job besides the traveling? It's a 24/7 job. It's not like a 9-to-5 job where like you say goodbye at the, you know, at the door and you don't talk to them or see them again until either the next day or Monday morning after the weekend. There have been nights we've been laying in bed and someone from his job has called and said, oh, this is happening and we need to do this. Because of the nature of his job, a lot of people at the organization has his number. So that goes from anywhere from like executives to the players to the staff members. And so if something goes down, a lot of the time he needs to be put into the loop. And I'm talking about anything from like when cuts are made from the team, or when someone's just trying to get through the gate at the facility, when something's happening in the player dorms. that has nothing to do with the players, but like the AC went out or something. Like, he is very much involved in a lot of that because he's the director of operations, but he also deals with the team travel and logistics. A lot of things can fall under his umbrella, and I think there's just no downtime or no time to ever just relax. I think that would be something that you could consider hard, just because there's just not a lot of keep work here and have family here. It's all kind of just like one thing. That said, it would not change our life and all of the good things that have come from Brandon having that job. Are you going to move when baby number 2 gets here? Yes, but and I mentioned this a minute ago, but not because of the baby. We just want to buy a house next summer. A lot of you guys have asked why specifically in July, and that is because this house that we live in now, we are renting, and we don't want to rent anymore. The lease will be up in July, and we're gonna hopefully build a house next summer. So at the end of the year probably is when we're gonna start that process, because if we build, it's gonna take several months before we can move in. What's the most difficult thing about Bash at this age? Tantrums, picky eater, teething, and sleep. The tantrums. He's a pretty good eater still. He used to eat everything I give him. Now he still eats everything I give to him, but he's selective about when he wants to eat it. He may eat it on a Monday but not eat it on a Tuesday. We are almost out of the teething phase. He was cutting teeth a couple weeks ago. I think there's only 2 more teeth that need to come in after that, which is really good. Sleep, we are still golden. He takes 1 nap a day, 10:30 in the morning most days, and he will sleep for 2.5 hours, sometimes 3 if I'm lucky, and then he goes to bed at 7:30, 8 o'clock every night, and wakes up between 7:30 and 8 every morning. The tantrums are probably the hardest part, because trying to communicate that he's upset usually does not go well. He'll hit his hands together, or he'll throw himself on the floor, and that's kind of difficult. But yeah, probably just managing that. How do you plan on managing the pre-diabetes during pregnancy? Does it change anything? To be completely honest, I'm just gonna do me. I will try to do my best to not go overboard on sugar, which actually I don't really go overboard on sugar. It's the carbs that turn into sugar, but I don't sit down with like a basket of pastries. For me, when I'm pregnant, at least when I was pregnant with Sebastian, there wasn't a lot that I wanted to eat, and so I just ate the things that I could eat. I haven't had aversions yet, and if I don't, then I will probably do better this pregnancy than I did with Bash. I'm not going to restrict myself if that's the only thing that sounds good at the time. I didn't get gestational diabetes with Sebastian. I'm praying that that doesn't happen with this baby, but to be completely honest, I'm not going to sit down and pick over every single thing I eat while I'm pregnant to make sure it's the most perfect pre-diabetes friendly meal ever. I'm just going to do my best, and that's all I can do. Has Bash started speech therapy yet? If so, how's it going? Yes, he has had probably like 4 or 5 sessions at this point. He kind of started talking before the speech therapy started, so I can't really say if she has helped him because he was kind of already talking, but I don't think that what she is doing is hurting him either, and that's why I've kept him in the program, and we love it so far. What are some new baby products you'll get for the new baby? Y'all, it is incredible how much stuff has changed in the last almost 22 months since I've had Bash. There are so many new gadgets, better gadgets, similar gadgets. This time around, we can't use the Rock and Play, which was like devastating because they've banned it. I have one, but can't use it now. I also had a DockATot, and we liked it. It's super expensive, so glad I don't have to buy it again, but I really want to try the Snuggle Me Organic this go around. We have an Ergo baby carrier that Bash can still use, but this time around, I'm also going to use this new carrier that Moby Wrap has. They always had the soft cloth sling ones, but now they have like a carrier. The baby can use it and Bash can use it. There's just so many things that I cannot wait to get my hands on, and I'm gonna show you guys all of that once, you know, the time comes. Will you be revealing the name of the baby before birth? Probably. We are moving to Lilburn in a month. What has your experience been in the South? It's all I know, really. It's hot, it's humid, people are sweet for the most part, and the food is really good, like Southern cooking. And if you are from the North and you order tea here in the South, it's going to be sweet tea, and it is delicious. I love living in the South. I really don't want to leave Georgia. I don't think we will at this point, but there is always a good chance that we could go to another team, but I could live here forever. I love it. Advice on how to support a friend who's struggling with fertility. My biggest piece of advice is to ask them how you can help them and be there for them. Offering up your suggestions on what they should do with their fertility, especially when you don't have infertility issue yourself, is probably only going to end badly. So just be there for them and be kind to them, and that's about it. I had a friend who told me this one time when I was trying to get pregnant with Sebastian, and she thought she was helping, and I wanted to punch her. She was like, you know, not everyone can have a baby. Some people just end up adopting. yeah, thanks, but I do want to have a baby, so I don't really want to hear that. Just be there and let them vent when they're upset and hold them when they cry. But yeah, the best thing to do is just not to make assumptions or suggestions, because even when you are going through infertility, somebody's situation still may be different from yours, and you may not say the right thing. More questions about our house. Will we stay in this house when the baby comes, or are we going to build the dream home? I would love to build. It will not be the dream home. If we buy it, it's definitely not the dream home. But if we build it, it still probably won't be the dream home, because we are just not at a place where we have dream home money. We will have a really good home and our own, you know, choices in that home, especially if we build it. But I would not necessarily say it's the dream, because the dream involves a lot of things, and I think that the house after this next house will be the dream house. I'm getting questions about the pros and cons of doing an IUI, and truthfully guys, I don't know about the pros and cons of it. I mean, it can give you better odds and help the male factor get to the egg a little bit better than maybe doing it at home. But honestly, because we didn't have any issues that would make IUI better, I really don't know what the actual pros are versus the cons, if that makes any sense. What do you do for skincare? Honestly guys, I stopped doing pretty much all of my skincare once I found out that I was pregnant, because I'm not trying to use the retinols and the serums and all of that while I'm pregnant. I was on that skincare track like hardcore there, but I'm not using anything because I'm just one of those paranoid people. How did you deal with sleep training? I'm struggling. I started manipulating Sebastian's sleep schedule when he was probably like 12 weeks. I started putting him to sleep during the day with naps when I wanted him to sleep, and I would wake him up when I wanted him up, so that way I knew that he would go down when I wanted him to. And I started doing it with naps first, and then when I stopped breastfeeding him through the night, so probably around like 6 months, I would put him down at a certain time and he would wake up, and I'd go in there and, you know, soothe him, but I wouldn't put him to sleep on me or through feeding, and then I would lay him back down and let him soothe himself back to sleep. That took probably like a week or so until he got used to being able to put himself to sleep, and then in the morning he'd wake up and he'd be ready to eat. But at 6 months they no longer need to be, you know, fed throughout the night. So yeah, that's how we did it, and I'm so glad we did it, because he has just been an amazing sleeper. And then by 9 months he was sleeping through the night without waking up at all. How is your mom doing? My mom is amazing. She is very happy in life right now. That's about all I'm gonna give about that. She is doing good, and I'll get her permission to talk more about what's going on with her. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, my dad passed away last October, and it was really hard for our family because he was just everything to us. But she is doing really well. Do you have any anxiety during pregnancy, and if so, how do you cope? Prayer. I think I kind of talked about this at the beginning, I'm not sure, but I get the worst paranoia and anxiety. I forgot how much and how scared and how anxious I am about this little nugget inside of me, and just keeping it in there and not losing it. Oh, the paranoia is enough to make me not want to have any more babies. Like, honestly, I don't think I can keep doing this because I'm so stressed out over this baby. And honestly, prayer and talking to my husband and one of my girlfriends. That's about it. What are you looking forward to most this pregnancy? Being out of the first trimester and giving birth. I don't hate being pregnant, but I don't love being pregnant either. And so I look most forward to being out of the first trimester, especially, and just in a safe zone and feeling good all the time, not feeling hungry all the time. But just, honestly, I cannot wait to just have the baby. What is something that you regret doing as a mother? I don't think I have any mom regrets. I have mom fails and like things that I've done wrong, but I don't think I have any major regrets. What is your favorite TTC app? I don't really know. I didn't use many apps trying to get pregnant. I used Glow. I think it's called Glow or Flow. It's like purple and it has a swirl, but we did fertility, so I didn't really use a lot of TTC apps. How did you know when Bash was ready for one nap? He stopped sleeping when I would put him down for the second one. He would just lay there awake the whole time, so I stopped doing it. Do you plan to do anything differently with baby number 2 than you did with Bash? Probably not. I think we're gonna probably keep everything about the same. How much did everything cost for you out of pocket with the fertility doctor? I know it came out to over $1,000. I don't think it was nearly as much as we paid for with Sebastian, because I had to do like the HSG, and we did the genetic testing and several other things. I stopped counting once we got to 1,000, so I really don't know. What verses in the Bible help you the most when you feel down? That's a really good one, and I probably should adopt a verse that I like keep as my like thing that I like cling to, because honestly when I feel down I just pray. I don't really think of any one verse, I just start praying. That's all I do, is just start praying. All right guys, we are at like the last couple questions. This is probably the longest Q&A of life. You said if this baby is a boy, you'd be adopting a girl after. Would she be African American or any race? To be completely honest, I've not given this a lot of thought because I'm just open to whatever baby God gives to us. If she is African American, then so be it. If she's not, then she's not. I just think about the baby and the fact that this baby's parents are doing one of the most selfless things that they could possibly do to give her the best life that they can, and it does not matter to me. I just want to save a baby's life. Can you make a video about how you were acting when you wanted Brendan to propose? I think I may have talked about this and talked about how psycho I was leading up to our engagement, but let me just tell y'all, for any of you out there who are wanting to get engaged, it is okay to lose your mind just before it happens. I did, and I still ended up with the ring, so it's okay. Hey girl, how are you? And who are your favorite mommy YouTubers? And that is the last question. So my favorite YouTubers are like don't have kids at all. Those are the channels that I watch the most. But I would say my favorite mommy YouTubers are Caitlin Nair. I've been watching Caitlin Nair since before I started my channel. Cara Linnell, you guys heard me talk about her a little bit ago. She is my girl. Megan Hickman, y'all might know her as Love Meg. I really like Style Mom. Lauren Self, I think her channel is called Lauren Self Blogs. There's so many like mommy channels out there that you can get different things from. I love Tiffany Beeston. Yeah, I think those are probably like the channels that when I'm looking for mommy content that I go to the most. They're just all real down-to-earth, normal women who are really about family, and that's really important to me. You can tell that being a mom and a wife is the most important to them before like getting caught up in like the whole YouTube thing, and I really love that because that's how I feel like I am. Like I don't consider myself like anything special. No matter how many subscribers these girls have, which some of them have a ton, they are just down-to-earth girls. You can go check out their channels if you want to. But anyway, that is the end of this very long Q&A. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.